You're listening to 17 Carat K-Pop, the show that's a little bit of everything with a K-pop twist. Visit 17caratkpop.weebly.com for more information about the show. That's 17caratkpop.weebly.com. Enjoy the show! Today's clip show is dedicated to the one and only 17, talking about why I am such a passionate fan of them, and my experiences as a fan, going into detail about their lyrics and appreciating their choreography, their albums, basically just talk about their music evolution, the music video story evolution, the lyrical evolution, all of the reasons to love and support 17, and just all the ways they brighten our days and all the comments I've made, or at least most of them that I've made on the show since the beginning, so enjoy. From the 17 Carat release, all the way up to Hangare today, they've just been so consistently good that it's weird to try to rank their releases. Alright, so fellow Carats, what do you think about this? I'm thinking 17 is absolutely the best at reading the room in advance. Not always predicting the future exactly, but they tend to release content when it makes perfect sense in the world. It feels like they were right on time intentionally when they may not have been. So what I mean by that is they do something and then the world reacts to it. So think about it. So we had the 17 O2 World Tour, and during that tour they had the best iconic encore. If you know, you know. So during that encore that was so extra and so long, and we loved every second of it that lingered, it felt right. They really were taking their time to leave the stage during the encore, and it was the never-ending encore. That is my favorite encore ever. And so then, shortly after, a few months after the O2 tour in North America at least, the coronavirus really hit. All these concert tours were canceled and postponed. So then it felt weird in hindsight, wow, 17 really knew that was going to be our last concert for a while, so in person, so they wanted to make it last and lingered on purpose. That's what it felt like. And so I'm just getting those kind of vibes again, because then they released this Left and Right song, which is such a TikTok ready bop. So in all these celebrities and non-celebrities, of course, have been on the TikTok challenge already. And it's before TikTok was really the ultimate, was going to be considered the ultimate app of the summer because of quarantine life, when TikTok dances became part of everyone's daily routine. And now they've got this song that came out, which they probably wrote and produced months ago, but now it's coming out during the perfect time for a TikTok ready bop. Which is why I do think, yes, that is my prediction for what will be considered the K-pop song of the summer. If not a new release from Pentagon that might come out, or ATEEZ, but I'm pretty sure that Left and Right will be the song of the summer. But let me know your thoughts on that. So we've got them letting their concert last the perfect amount of time, them releasing this TikTok dance trend at the perfect time, and then now you've got them possibly accidentally wandering into a partnership with Mentos, which it's the perfect time for, because this better not just be an issue for me, but wearing those face masks in public really makes it hit home how much our breath stinks when we don't do something like use tons of toothpaste and chew Mentos or whatever. It just feels so perfect, right? 17 are just the kings of this. They've got this Midas touch because it's the perfect time for them to have this Mentos sponsorship, because everyone needs Mentos right now, because we're realizing we have bad breath. And so it just feels wild to me that they are always just on the ball accidentally. 17 just broke the Backstreet Boys record, which they held for 12 years. They are the first foreign male artists in 12 years to top the Oricon charts 2 weeks in a row with their new album, Hangare, and I am so excited for them. They really deserve that and more, of course. Adore You was their debut song. That is an iconic video. It makes me nervous because if anyone spills a drop of anything colorful in that white room, they are all in trouble, but their all-white outfits did look great through the whole video. Nothing happened, but I wonder how many takes that took. But it was an iconic moment, and you just could fall in love with their infectious energy right away from watching Adore You. They also, during their debut year, already entered Billboard's 21 Under 21 list, which is huge. And then they released the Boys B EP later that year. And I believe that gave us... No, wait, that was Love and Letter. So never mind. So 2016, Love and Letter is when we finally got their first album, and Pretty You was a big song on that one. So Pretty You, because the video is just the iconic, cute, wholesome content that we've come to know and love from 17, and it's such a cute, it's just so cute. Everything about the song is cute, and they really solidified that special, cute image with Very Nice. The Very Nice video is obviously extra iconic if you saw them on the last tour, and you've heard me before on the show rant about how great that encore is with all the confetti blasts and the psych, the intro, the encore's not over yet moments that lasted what felt like an extra hour after the show of constant encore after encore. I never wanted to leave, and they didn't either. It was great. But yeah, so Very Nice is a really cool thing, and it really was also a big moment for them because it shows that they really know how to deliver really cool choreography in ways that show their synchronization in new ways. So like for this time they have these suspenders and these pants with stripes on them, and the stripes like moving in sync, like all their legs moving in sync with the stripes. It's hard to explain, but it looks very cool, and they really find a lot of cool, clever ways, like in the Very Nice video, to show off their incredible synchronization in just new ways. That's the best I can do to explain it. Then, in 2016, we got Going 17. That album had Smile Flower, which is one of the best. It's a special ballad to hear fans sing in a crowd, and it's really, just really well done. If you want to just be impressed by their vocals, not the dancing, but the vocals specifically, watch any live version of them singing Smile Flower. It's just so beautiful. It's such a beautiful song. And that album also continued to just allow them to experiment. That's when we got Boom Boom, which peaked at number 5 on the World Digital Singles Chart. That was a big moment for them. Then there was, on that album also, on Going 17, we got Fast Pace, which is the song that, just hear me out. If you listen to Fast Pace by 17, you'll know what I mean when I say that song sounds like it came straight out of Little Big Planet, the video game. I mean, actually, it probably came straight out of any computer game or video game, but I mean that in the best way. It is so fun and playful, and the tune is perfect for playing video games, too. So, that to me is such an iconic B-side because it just makes me think of video games, and I don't know, it's just a thing. So, anyway, 2017, that was huge for them. That's when we got Don't Wanna Cry. Don't Wanna Cry is... It's got to be their most viewed video if Clap isn't yet. I bet it's Don't Wanna Cry. But that video really is the most incredible synchronized dance they've ever done, aside from Hit, but we'll get to that later. So Don't Wanna Cry is really just the choreography. It really shows how good they are. Just so good. And it's amazing to me how in sync all 13 members can be. Also, remember from that era, we got My Eye. My M-Y and then the letter I. My Eye is that's an underrated B-side. And here's another thing about 17. Songs like that don't get the credit they deserve, and I think I know why. It's because some songs you need to listen to with headphones for the full experience. So if you're listening to a song in the car, or in public, or just, playing it in your room on a speaker, or whatever, it sounds a certain way, but when it's quiet where you are and you're listening with headphones, it's a different experience. And for some songs, maybe that makes the song worse, where you're like, this is kind of boring actually, this is just good for parties and dancing to. But other times it makes you like a song more when you actually get to really hear it. And 17 has a lot of songs like that, especially the B-sides, where you think it's okay, it's catchy, I guess, but then once you hear it with headphones on, especially when it's all quiet, like noise-canceling headphones or some other surround sound technology of sorts, then you get to hear so many layers, so many intricate little details they add to their songs that really stick in your head. So like all of these little sound effects and moments and layered vocals and such throughout the songs really get you hooked. Every little bit of it is an earworm in itself. So So yeah, My Eye is definitely one of those songs where once you hear it in with headphones on, it's a transformative experience because especially in the chorus there's part that literally goes in one ear and out the other. So it literally you'll hear it in one ear and then it goes to the other ear. I love songs like that in headphones. So just quick PSA about that. So that was awesome. Then we had Teenage. Yes, Teenage. Teenage is the album that was a big moment for me. That's when I really became a hardcore 17 fan, was after the teenage era when we got, I believe that's when we got Clap. It's also when we got Trauma and Lily Yabai. Lily Yabai is the one to watch if you want more fascinating synchronization to watch. And if you want that mixed with my nerves that I get when I see people in all white outfits and I worry about spilling anything on them. But they really pull it off, both staying clean and staying in sync. So Lily Yabai, that performance is just the way they move their arms and stuff as one, but also it's just all these changing parts. It's so incredible. Anyway, so Lily Yabai and then Trauma, because that is another subunit thing that really just showed that they get to experiment when they're in the subunits with different styles that are a little less of the cutesy image they form when they're together. So when they're in their subunits, they really change things up, no pun intended, and it works and it's very cool. So anyway, so yeah, we got some really cool subunit songs from the teenage era. That is also the era that came with the iconic intro and outro music, and those instrumental intros and outros are what I used when this was a radio show, fun fact. So my theme song for my radio show was the intro or outro for 17's teenage album. 2018 got us the BSS subunit, which was iconic and fun and unexpected. That year we got Director's Cut, we got Call Call Call. I think that was from We Make You. Yeah, Call 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 and Director's Cut. And You Made My Day was the other one. You Made My Day, the video for Oh My is a great one to watch to understand their appeal as just a very cute band. It's a very aesthetic video, as many of their others are, and it's very just cute and fun and escapist, because it's literally they're living in the clouds and they have a sleepover, and it's just really cute and fun. So I would check that out for sure. They have like a rooftop garden party. It's just the best. So Oh My was from that album. That was great. Then we get to 2019. We had You Made My Dawn, which honestly, that might be their best EP. Their best full-length album, Teenage, but their best EP, probably You Made My Dawn. I think Hug is the one to hear if you just need the most calming, soothing thing ever. Like, low-key, if you have a young child, the song Hug could probably be a good lullaby to put them to sleep. It is so beautiful. I mean putting them to sleep in a good way, not like it's boring. And Getting Closer was also a huge moment because that pre-release single was really a game changer. It symbolized that they were kind of moving into more mature territory, but in a way that was not like suddenly turning edgy. It wasn't a 360. It wasn't a 180. It was them naturally evolving, and so they wore darker clothes and stuff, but I mean they were still the pure 17 boys we know and love. So Getting Closer was iconic. It also showed a sonic shift to me. It really had just a lot of elements to it that felt new for them, which I loved. Then we got an Ode, which was when we had another big shift, and we had Hit and Fear, both music videos that I would check out to see what the big deal is. With Hit, the video really shows the synchronization. I cannot get over the chorus of Hit, and it's so mesmerizing to watch their routine, and I get so tired just watching them do that dance. But it's iconic and awesome, and a hit song naturally. And Fear was really cool too because of the aesthetics of the video, and it showed a darker side of them, but again in that way that to me they still have the cute image in my head, so it's not like bad boys, but still a little darker literally and whatnot. So, and that had some grim fairy tale references embedded in it and stuff, so it was a very cool new direction for them. Then this year so far we have Falling Flower, which is I believe a Japanese release from them, and the video is really cool. It has some cool symbolism with the flowers that are kind of taped slash bandaged onto their faces, a way to try to preserve what is dried up and fading, and the lyrics are really moving too. They have a lot of flower references in their discography, which I really love. And then there's Falling Down, which we got from The 8, his solo project. His video for Falling Down is really incredible. It's a great interpretive dance. And as always, he's just a stellar performer in every way. So, yeah, the main things to understand what 17's appeal is their synchronization, which you can watch in Hit, and especially, yeah, I would say Hit, Very Nice. Those are the big two that come to mind for synchronization. And Don't Want to Cry. And then for just in general soothing vocals and their vocal power, you can see with Hug and Smile Flower. And in general with the fun cute stuff, I would watch Clap or Oh My or Adore You. See, they just hit all the points. And then with just sonic uniqueness, Getting Closer is a good one for that. So they really have it all. So they really bring their songs to life. The way they dance, the way they dress, all of it carries a story. It's like you're watching a movie filmed in real time when you watch them perform. They are so mesmerizing as performers, and I just have so much respect for them and their craft and the way they have gotten better in their craft over time. For context, for the next few clips, I am talking about 17's lyrics and just appreciating them and the stories their videos have created with those lyrics, and I start by talking about the lyrics in Adore You, their debut single. In that song, their lyrics talk about, I have so much to tell you, I want to know everything about you. It's lyrics about a crush, basically, and wanting to talk to someone and get to know them better. And it's just, the very cute song that we know and love. And then Very Nice also talked about that with the theme about first date jitters is really what the lyrics of Very Nice were all about. And then Manse, which translates to hooray basically, is again talking in that really bright, fun, optimistic tone about the possibilities once you get to meet someone and the joy and excitement in the process of getting to know someone, especially someone you have a crush on, is the implication here. And it continues that theme of being not sure how to express those feelings, though, with lyrics like, my head is filled with things I want to say, can someone say them for me, which, man, I felt that lyric. And so, side note, I think this may be one of the reasons why I gravitated towards 17 so much, is that they talk about the concept of struggling to find the words and figuring out how to express your feelings for someone, and, with some romantic implications, but also for me, I just take it as... It just relates to me, these lyrics, because of my autism and how it's weird for me to know how to try to talk to people and communicate with them sometimes and share how I really feel. So it kind of just felt like a bond to them and their message quite early on in this saga. So anyway, then if we look at Boom Boom with that has lyrics like turn right. Okay, this I just realized as I was thinking about this song the other day, and I'm so excited about this discovery, which could be a total coincidence, but you really never know with musicians what the Easter eggs are that start years in advance being created and manifested. So Boom Boom lyrics include, quote, turn right and turn left around you. Yeah, I know that may be a reach, but come on. Left and right, they were already talking about that during the Boom Boom era. Anyway, so it's basically, the song talks about wanting to run up and hug someone and being unable to think straight still and really trying to find the words for what you want to do. Like, you don't even know, like, you're very discombobulated, which way's up, which way's down, which way's left, which way's right, basically. The lyrics to Clap are really this message about brushing off the small stuff and not letting those things spoil your day. And basically, it has this lyric, quote, clap away the fire, which I always found funny. Basically, like, any issues, you can just clap away. It's kind of like the quote, I guess, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. But for them, it's like, if you can't handle the heat, just clap, and maybe you'll... Whatever. I was trying to draw an analogy there, but I don't think it's working. But you can clap for my effort there. Anyway, so it's all about really just trying to still find a good day, even though you're still struggling with having the right words to say, basically. Then we got a huge tone contrast starting with Getting Closer. So in that era, and those lyrics refer to it as well as the darker color palette and everything they used for their video. The Getting Closer lyrics reference all of these different terms. It uses words in terms like falling down, sinking deeper, shadows, shouts, paralyzed, I'm a mess, I'm still in the same spot as I was. And then the biggest lyric that stood out to me is Where Are My Friends, which gets repeated several times. And so really it's about this feeling of feeling lost and confused, but at a much darker extent than the previous songs and lyrics had alluded to. This was released as part of the same comeback as Home, as like the pre-release single for that era. So then when Home came along, that was an interesting partner song, which really is like a comforting song. So here's my thought on this, and this is not confirmed, it's my theory, but I feel like Getting Closer was written from one perspective, and then Home is like the other person in the friendship or relationships perspective of, because Home is all about here, I'm here to comfort you, I'm here for you, I'll catch you if you fall, and then the other song is more about what do? I need someone to catch me and hug me and everything. And so it's basically like the fear mixed with the comfort song, and I just felt like that was a very very fitting and intentional duo of song releases. If we speed up to the, you know what, I'll talk about My first. So My, even though this is a little out of the timeline, I'm not going in chronological order, but it'll make sense eventually. So then in My, they were talking about really going your own pace in life, going, my way. It has really cute lyrics like row your dreams beyond the parallel lines and stuff like that. Figure out your own course to go in life and follow that. Just go for your goals and don't worry about how fast or slow other people are on the way to their goals and dreams. And I also really love the lyric. This is just more of a side note, not symbolic really, but that they said clouds are like umbrellas for the sun. And I've been really thinking about that a lot now. Clouds are the umbrellas of the sun, and that is just... that, I don't know, I just find that really funny, and anyway, so, and then there are lyrics like, quote, every day I open my eyes, and I always find something new, I meet myself in the mirror and blossom a new me, unquote, and basically, the lyrics are all about not just finding your own path, but basically owning your path, being excited every day. So it's a really cool contrast to me, because now in the storyline, we still have the continuity of this bright tone. Now, we'll get to the Getting Closer hiccup in the road in the storyline later, but dismissing that for right now, we have that through line of optimistic content, and just that lighthearted feel and this optimism, but also, besides the cheerful vibes, there was this underlying current of nerves and discouragement and uncertainty about what do I say, what do I do, where am I going in life. So all those doubts. So basically optimism but riddled with self-doubt was kind of their message from all the way back from the Adore You era. But then when we get to My, it's basically like the undercurrents aren't actually dark. Like it's all brighter. So it's not just a bright facade, it's authentic now. They really stepped into their own, and that's what the lyrics show, which I find very cool. So with My, they're basically saying, I'm excited. So they basically had the concept in like earlier videos like, oh, I don't know where I'm going, and that scares me. And now with My, it's, oh, I still don't know where I'm going, but I'm excited at that. I turn my nerves and fears into joy and excitement at the possibilities every day, to start over every day and everything that could happen if I just let it and not try to rush it. And there is another lyric in there, no need to rush. They literally say that in the song, you're doing fine, no need to rush. And nothing's set in stone, nothing's too fast or too slow, all lyrics from the song. And so I really like that overall message that it was all about their journey, not the destination. Then if we talk about the dark side, though, with the Getting Closer concept, we kind of had those feelings bubble up again for Fear. So I know I'm not going chronological order, but just stay with me here. So in the Fear song, there are all these quotes like, you must erase your memories of me, I am poison, I'm afraid of myself. I'm afraid I'll eventually change you to basically fearing you're a bad influence on someone and, stay away from me. I'm not worth it and I'm not a good influence. And I'm just, how could anyone love someone like me is the melodramatic way you could interpret it. And so that's what the concept of fear was all about. But then we have this partner song, Fearless, which has, and we've already talked about some of the ways that the lyrics parallel each other with Fear and Fearless intentionally are grouped together. But aside from that, some new things we haven't discussed yet are lyrics like, it says, there's one part, quote, above erased memory, reblooming venom. I don't want to open my eyes. I saw myself falling apart. So basically, it's again this thought of, the reblooming venom term I find very interesting here, how it's like the concept of blossoming anew every day is back in their lyrics, but the poison reference is again in their lyrics still. So it's not like everything's peachy keen, but everything's not terrible either. It's that mix of the highs and lows in life, and that's basically what that song encapsulates. And there's other lyrics I like are new day, new me, break this wall, give me something new. That's the big repeated part in the chorus, give me something new. Like, all right, you know what? I still have this fear, and this poison is the symbolism that I have to deal with, the poison of self-doubt, of feeling like I'm, a burden on other people, or, all those insecurities you might be perpetuating on others and worry about that impact. Okay, I still have to deal with all those. I can't wait for those to go away because that day will never come. But also, give me something new, life. Bring it on. And that feels like what their message is there. And I also like the quote, maybe I didn't bother you. Come to think of it, it's nothing. So I just kind of love that, and that one really hits me because I feel that all the time. Like, I'm just like I'm a burden on someone, or if I tell them my problems, like I'm just complaining or whatever. And so those lyrics it's interesting how they have that same feeling in Fear, but then in Fearless they turn around to say, come to think of it, it's nothing. What am I doing? Because, we can really get so worked up in our heads about how we might be seen to others, and a lot of the time that's not how we're seen at all. We're all our worst critic, and that's what those songs really embody, that concept of we're all our own worst critic. That I hope my fellow Carats also notice this, that the episode titles in the Korean words for the episode titles, if you rearrange them, they spell out a sentence that's something along the lines of, I'll be by your side as you walk down this lawn road, or this lawn as you not take the road less traveled, but something along those lines of, I'll be with you as you walk down this unwalked down road. I'm not explaining this as poetically as 17 did, but the point is that if you rearrange the titles for each docuseries episode into an order, it turns into a sentence with that same sentiment as the song lyrics. So the sentence is basically the same sentiment as the song lyric from their surprise special fan-dedicated song release we got this year. So it's a very, very cool connection there. A little Easter egg they have in this album that I hope more people pay attention to is, they're really good with lyrics. So not just catchy bops, but 17 has such nice, meaningful lyrics as well that I wish got more attention. And one of those examples is, if you listen to the song Fear, which was on their last album, they have this lyric called something along the lines of, nothing lasts forever, knowing that I can't end it, basically, like this is an eternal suffering is kind of the message in Fear, and says that you can't end it, and the exact same lyric is in Fearless, but they changed it to can end it, and that is just such a cool, subtle adjustment. I liked seeing that, and that's very cool. So when they went from Fear to Fearless, we love to see it. Yeah. And so far the album has reached number 1 in 27 different countries. They got 1 million sales of this album in just 5 days, and over 500,000 copies were sold within just 2 days. I mean, they've really been breaking their own records with this, as they deserve to. So that has been really exciting to see. And that's my overall review of it, is I'm just very excited about it. As always, we love 17, and their lyrics just deserve more attention, I think, because some groups that have the catchiest songs sometimes people don't really stop and think about the lyrics behind the tunes, and I think they deserve for the lyrics to get the attention they deserve. So, for example, here are some lyrics from Together. Quote, "There are many paths before me, and even if the world goes in the opposite direction." So basically, there are lyrics like that. I know it's going to get better in the future. So lyrics that talk about, like, even if the world is in a different path, and even if I don't know what path I'm taking, I know things will get better, which kind of goes along with the theme of the Fearless song, which is I can end the frustration, that kind of thing. And there's a repeated lyric in Together where they say, "I want to take out the compass in me," and that just is quite a symbol, I think, of you want to take out the compass in you, because it can mean so much, and that's what I love about a lot of K-pop songs, is the lyrics can mean whatever you want it to mean for you personally, but with that, it seems like I like that seems to mean to me, I like the thought of getting rid of the compasses and just getting lost. You know what I mean? Like, just really embracing the ambiguity, embracing a moment in your life when you're not sure about the future, because that's where the possibilities can happen. So really enjoying that moment and not fearing the unknown seems to be the message, like you can get through that unknown moment together. And I love that. So the song Kidult, which is obviously kid and adult combined, is really, really poetic as well, with lyrics like, "After I've laughed it off like an adult, even when I cry like a young kid." So a lot of connections to when you act like everything's okay like an adult, you're supposed to, toughen up and not cry or whatever, whereas on the inside you might still wish you could throw a tantrum like a 2-year-old. And so they really encompass that feeling really well with the lyrics, and they constantly do that in those lyrics. They draw contrasts to their younger selves and the younger side of their personality that's still within them. Super relatable, and again, they're just so poetic with the way they describe things. And then in I Wish, I really like the lyric, "I really wish you would see my dreams." And another one is, "I haven't been able to sort my thoughts, which have densely piled up, and I'll send a letter that won't arrive." So basically, you have thoughts that keep piling up like mail, like unread mail is the comparison. And this analogy about all this unread mail, and you're sending letters to someone and you wish they would read them, and then saying you wish someone would see your dreams, just really speaks volumes as a symbol of wanting to be heard and wanting your concerns met and trying to voice them but not knowing how. So you try to write them down because you don't know the words to speak about your concerns, and it's just really a touching, it speaks to me, that song. 17 has surpassed 1 million sales for their whole Japanese discography. So they are the 12th group in history to reach that goal. And I'm so excited for them, so congrats to 17. Falling Flower I put on here because not only is it a really cool song that sounds just very different and unique to a lot of other releases this year, but also because of the live performance. The choreography is just wonderful, and that visual really makes me appreciate the song even more and how they go together to make a masterpiece. I was looking into possible deeper meanings of the imagery in their promo pics, because their promo pics are just perfect for Easter egg hunting. And so the latest release they are releasing promo pics for is their upcoming Japanese mini album, which is due in early September, and they've already released the first single, Falling Flower, which we all know and love already. And so what I really like about the promo is it has this red string concept, and they've had this before where they've been tangled up like in the Trauma music video and stuff, and even in My Eye they kind of alluded to that maybe. They have like that holding onto each other by a thread concept repeatedly. And so the latest development has to do with actually a Japanese legend called the Tale of the Red String of Fate. And so the Red String of Fate is actually a symbol. And it's just a really great story. It basically can be summed up by the strings are what connect humans. It's basically a metaphor for veins and how human hearts are connected, and it's just a very sweet legend and a story about how people were destined to meet and connect to each other by fate. And so really the whole concept, if that is what it symbolizes here, which I'm pretty sure it does, is that the strings are always there. So they grow taut, they grow loose, they get tangled, but they're always there. They don't get cut or severed ever. So you always have those human connections, and I really think that's a cool concept that I hope they explore more in that Japanese release, be it through the lyrics, through the video. I'm very excited to see more from that. Quick context for the next clip. So, I asked K-pop reporter Jeff Benjamin what it is like to interview 17 and really how authentic their dynamics and relationships with each other really are. And I was very pleased and relieved to know that they really are genuine relationships and bonds they've built with each other, and that they sound as great as we expected them to be. So, here was his answer.
I just remember being so impressed by what I saw from them musically and performance wise. And, whether it was Adore You or Monse and things like that. And I remember I got to see them live in Korea at a music program. First interview was in 2017. It was their first US interview, and I'm thinking it's going to be other, 13 people is a lot of people, and me, so it's like 14 boys. Everyone was just totally in the moment and watching one another, and just wanting to encourage one another, and I don't know, that's what I've always really liked about this team, is that they really are a team. I think they're always kind of looking out for one another. I mean, obviously, it's a bit easier for me to talk with Vernon and Joshua too. When we met at Build Series and we did an interview at Build Series, that was really cool too. And it's just no one's ever forgotten in that team. Everyone's when we're all in a circle. No one. It's not even like people who were less confident in speaking were sitting on the outside. No, it was like we're all in a circle. Everyone gets like kind of that equal representation. And, and that's something I want to bring to that group too, is that I think it's actually quite unique that they have 13 members. I remember at the Build Series interview too, I think everyone had spoken except the 8. And I just, wanted to take a moment before we got to the audience questions and just, check in with him. And, he got a moment to be on camera, had his camera moment. And, afterwards, their team told me that they were actually touched that someone recognized that, because they do really, I think, want everyone to shine, everyone to make sure that they're seen and heard. But yeah, I just, the guys there, I think they're superstars, but also just, humble and know where they come from. I was just at KCON, I think it was last year. S Coops came up to me. I was just sitting backstage. I was waiting for the interviews to finish, but he didn't have to. But he came up to me and shook my hand and then gave me a hug. It was really, really nice. They don't have to do those things, but they're just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I really think highly of them. I think there's so many things to be seen from them, and to still be seen from them.
They do seem that way, and I'm so glad that it does seem so genuine that because I've noticed in their interviews that Vernon and Joshua really do make sure that they're translating for the other members when they need to, and making
Yeah.
sure that they're not, monopolizing the conversation. And
Exactly. And I think the team knows, that takes trust, you can
mm-hmm.
just let someone else talk, or people like talking, having that. I think there's a team trust there where they say, okay, we know he's going to do right by us, and they're going to do right by us, whatever it might be. And yeah, that takes trust.
Yeah, it really is unique too, because like you said, there are so many of them, and it just to see them all genuinely get along is just really refreshing, and I think that'll add to their longevity as a group. Thank you, 17, for all you do, and thank you for all the happy memories, and thank you for inspiring this show and just making our lives better and brighter. And please continue to do so, and congrats on your 5-year anniversary as a band. Thanks for listening to 17 Carat K-Pop today. Check out more info about the show at 17caratkpop.weebly.com. See you tomorrow.